We've covered shortages all throughout the supply chain crisis this year, from the recent cream cheese crisis to semiconductor chips. But this one's serious. This morning, we want to discuss the shortage of a life-saving resource that you can actually do something about: blood. The nation's blood centers are reporting dangerously low levels of supply this holiday season, and they're asking for help. Dr. Claudia Cohn, Chief Medical Officer of the Association for the Advancement of Blood and Biotherapies, joins us now. Good morning, Dr. Cohn. Thanks for your time. So first, just give us a sense of how dire this shortage has become at blood banks and what the ultimate implications are because of that.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. The situation has become quite dire. We usually have 5 to 7 days worth of blood on the shelf at blood centers. At the beginning of COVID, when we began to have restrictions in social distancing and fewer people could come out, we dropped down to about 3 days worth of supply, and we went from what we considered a status green to a status orange. Now, because of supply chain, et cetera, we're down to 1 day supply in some regions of the country. Wow. So that is as low as we've ever been, that I've ever seen.
So what is driving this shortage? Is it supply chain? Is it COVID? A combination of all that?
It's a combination. Let's begin with the idea that the best donors are baby boomers, and they're beginning to age out. They come regularly, they come often, they're wonderful. Oh. They're not being replaced by the younger generation. So at the very beginning at baseline, we're tenuous. And then COVID hit, and we couldn't have mobile drives because of social distancing. And so we're limited to fixed sites, the blood centers themselves. And add to that now COVID fatigue, fewer people just want to do things because they're tired. And then finally, the fact that there are staffing shortages. So blood centers cannot operate at full capacity.
Oh, so much working against us there. Now, also, in addition to everything that you just laid out, actually, during some of COVID, it was actually put on hold, blood donations at the height of the pandemic when we, weren't sure what was safe, essentially, as we learned more. Now that we're seeing the spread of Omicron, of this new variant that seems to be quite transmissible, is it safe to be donating blood? Are there any precautions set up to prevent the spread of COVID while doing so? And what does it mean for that blood?
So donations were never actually halted. It was just social distancing initially made people afraid to come out. But I'd actually say it's safer to go to a blood center than to go to a sporting event, to go to a local grocery store, to go to the mall for Christmas shopping. We stagger appointments so that we have a limited number of people on site. We use social distancing, of course. Everyone wears a mask. Surfaces are wiped down so that everything is very clean. And we only want healthy people to come out and donate. You're not allowed to donate if you're not feeling well. Mm-hmm. So you're surrounded by healthy people. It is extremely safe to donate, and you cannot contract COVID through a transfusion. So everything about it is quite safe.
I think that right there is the big key people are wondering. So that's great to hear. Finally, of course, what can we do to help? Is it as simple as finding those blood centers and heading in?
Yes. If you go to aabb.org, there's a blood locator. So you can just put in your zip code and it will tell you the blood center near you. One thing I want to warn everyone is you might call up tomorrow to make an appointment to donate, and they'll tell you, we can't take you until 3 weeks from now. It is not because we're out of a shortage. It is simply because of staffing shortages or because they're trying to stagger the supply so that there's enough. Blood has a short shelf life. And so we have to constantly keep the people coming through the door. So please get out and give some blood and do it regularly. Make it a part of your life so that every 8 weeks you go and donate blood. It's a great way to give back to the community. It's a great way to save a life.
Oh, wow. Powerful message there. And great point that if you're told come back in a few weeks, stick with it. It's not because they don't need it. Dr. Claudia Cohn, thank you so much. Really great information there. Happy holidays.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.